Oh, what's this? EndymionTv is a. Ooh, this video looks interesting. All right, let's check this out, guys. Scene 2, and yeah, so Deranged woke freak swarm EndymionTv for defending GamerGate 2 and Witcher 4 and Intergalactic implode. So we reacted to Witcher 4 already. We reacted to both these actually. I haven't really talked about Witcher 4 in depth, so I got a lot of feelings about it.
Hey,
so
it's Endymion, and oh boy, was the last few days a doozy for me. Yet again, I found myself as the main character on Twitter for having an opinion as I got attacked by tons of people for
this guy, I gained a lot of respect from him because I think one of the first videos I saw was when he came out and talked about the Rockstar in general and the direction that they're going with GTA 6 or what they could be, you know, is speculating. And he pulled a lot of like facts together, which kind of I really like that approach, right? It's not just going, you know, pretty much grifting. It's you know, piling up a lot of evidence and, you know, just showing a direction where, you know, these points on a graph might end up. Who knows though?
Claiming that the way Ciri was depicted in Witcher 4 was completely messed up and broke lore. Also, they're banning people for...
I don't know anything about the lore. I literally just finished downloading Witcher 3. Haven't played it yet. I'm gonna play it through this week. I'm on vacation, obviously. Content's gonna keep on coming, guys. I'm gonna keep on pushing. I just have more time to play video games and make more good content for y'all. So make sure you hit that like button to push this out to more people. Help support the channel. Why not subscribe if you're new here or if you're a returning, you know, viewer. But yeah, so I'm really excited to play The Witcher. I've always heard really good things about it. It's like $10 on PlayStation right now. I'm sure you can find it somewhere else that's like really cheap. And yeah, I'm so excited to watch that. But we're gonna dive into more stuff. I want to figure out why it's kind of lore breaking. And I have a lot of people said that, you know, this lady looked ugly. She looked too manly, and I did see like a comparison. I pulled up comparisons from the original, you know, Witcher 3, the direction they were going with that, and then the new one. She does look different. She does. I don't know if it's like she's older. She doesn't look more masculine. Like she doesn't look masculine, right? She doesn't look as helpless. But we're gonna get to all that, right?
Speaking out against this too. So I want to address
the trailer looked fucking amazing, in my opinion.
New info is being released and more, and
I'm always open to hear your opinions, man.
On Naughty Dog's next game that will surely...
This pissed me off because they had fucking advertisements with Adidas in a fucking like 80s style Star Wars game. Like, what are we doing? It was such a weird combination.
Lose them even more money, and I got some insider info given to me on Intergalactic specifically. All right, let's get into it. Firstly, yeah, I was attacked relentlessly these past few days.
Bet.
Nothing new when it comes to who I am. I'm used to it.
Probably attacked by the modern audience that never shows up for modern gaming these days.
And I feel even more vindicated thanks to the comments, both negative and positive, that were being thrown my way.
Shit happens,
I said
man.
that Ciri looked weird. She didn't look like herself, that the DEI agenda that I already exposed that has seeped its way into every corner of CD.
I'm not gonna lie, like a great way, I think I could say, maybe it's not a great way, but she looks like a more modern version of the Witcher 3 version, right? Like she's got the lip injections now, she got the dark mascara. I don't know. She looks very similar though.
Project Red already would have long-term effects on the company. People yelled at me. Hell, the CEO of CD Projekt Red attacked me for pointing it out. Then I had to make a whole video showing people how DEI is absolutely all over CDPR, and then that narrative magically changed.
Yeah, there's been a bad rep for the company because they had like some positions that were only open to women, and it was pretty much like a DEI, like we're empowering women into certain roles in the company, which some people would look at that and think that's not a bad thing, and some gamers like me have seen a pattern where it's like the people that are making the video games are the ones controlling the direction of a lot of like minute things and also bigger scale things depending on how high up they are in the company, and that can change a game completely. And that you could say, oh, it's good to have more diversity, but when your clientele is not very diverse, the percentage of women that play video games especially when you get to like typical genres and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that. It's just, you know, and I'm explaining something that's fucking basic knowledge. Like, guys play video games, and some girls do too, and those are, you know, they're cool girls. And typically those chicks like to play the good video games that the guys like to play, or they play like Sims or Animal Crossing and shit like that, like my girlfriend does, or like Fortnite, stuff like that, Marvel Rivals. There's some games that, you know, cross barriers, but you know, there's a lot of games that don't, and I'm not saying it's, you know, 100%. That's never the case, you know. I'm talking about majorities, obviously.
And here I was showing you in real time another example of this happening with Siri, and then people got mad at me. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on over there. Firstly, IGN had an exclusive interview with CDPR on Witcher 4.
Oh
and
boy.
they confirmed some things that made a lot of Legacy fans go, wait, what?
Let's
read it together.
Yeah.
Sebastian Kalemba, the game's director, it's this guy on screen right here in case you don't know, spoke to IGN about the future of Witcher and where this was all going. Pretty much he confirms that yes, Ciri is the main character.
Okay.
Geralt is taking a back seat, and there's a new trilogy planned surrounding her as the main character. As I said in previous videos from well over a year ago, I have
Wait, trilogy?
no problem with Ciri taking over the franchise.
Yeah.
I literally said in those older videos that you can find on my channel, if you look
I wonder why Geralt's not in 4. Do not ruin anything for me in the comment section. Please don't do that. I'm so excited to play fucking Witcher 3, bro. I really don't know much about the game at all.
It made sense for her to
I played
take
a little
over
bit back in the day on the
character role
360.
from Geralt.
Just a
Especially
tiny bit.
considering Witcher 3 near its conclusion started dealing with different dimensions and all that stuff.
Ooh.
And obviously, in case you don't know, Ciri is the Lady of Space and Time. She can use her ancient elven blood to magically tear holes in reality to go to other places.
Well, that's OP
I
as
literally
fuck.
stated in those videos well before this premiere that
Wait, we're gonna be able to do that? Dude, that seems like really
the
complex.
game's code name, which is Polaris, made complete sense with Ciri as the main hero.
Yeah.
Polaris is an actual real star that is outside in our own cosmos right now. Polaris is also considered the star that is used by real-life navigators because no matter where you are in the world, Polaris remains in the same spot always, making it a real-life handy tool that you can use to always dictate where you are in the world. Because in case you didn't know this, it's actually really cool, Polaris always points north. I know it's crazy that such a real thing exists in our world. It's amazing even. I find it incredibly fascinating. And it made sense why CDPR named the project Polaris, because replace the star with Ciri and it's kind of the same thing. A shining beacon in a sea of darkness that always leads forward, always able to find itself no matter where it is. Ciri can tear holes in dimensions, it all makes sense. She is our North Star guiding the player on her journey through the other realms that are out there. For God's sakes, the whole point of Witcher 3 is that the Wild Hunt wants Ciri
I'm sorry, but that trailer looks so fucking good.
because of her unique elven blood travel powers. I called this all out a year ago, and surprise, I was right. I don't want to toot my own horn too much here, but hey, I do my research in case you haven't noticed.
He does.
So I have zero issue with Ciri being a main character here since she was always the main character of the books, technically too. In terms of the games, maybe not so much. I mean, she doesn't really show up until Witcher 3, of course.
Okay.
But in terms of the actual mythology of
I've never heard anyone talk about Witcher or Witcher 2. Never. I feel like it's a situation like Fallout, right? People don't talk about Fallout 1 or Fallout 2. I know about those games. Those are YouTube videos that I've, you know, watched and, you know, watched the stories on them, but I never played them, right? Those are ancient PC games. I wonder if the Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 are like that too.
Of this world and what it represents, yeah, Ciri has always been a mainstay. I know a lot of games are removing male heroes for female ones. I made it very clear that
It's so awesome. Not awesome. It happens so often, bro. It's like I saw a comparison to like I think it was like 5 or 10 years ago, and it showed like the 5 biggest games of the year, and it was all guys. And then it showed 2025, and the biggest games were all chicks, protagonists. And I don't mind that at all. Stellar Blade was great, right? There's other games with female protagonists that are great, like The Last of Us. I loved it with Ellie. So you can do it either way, but it's just like, dude, you just Don't do it for the sake of making it a woman. Like, make a good fucking story. Make a good game. Like, what are you doing?
Like that a lot too. PlayStation especially has been doing this for years, and we'll get to Intergalactic later, of course, which continues this trend. But in Witcher 4's case, I made an exception because logically, it made sense to go this way. However, there's other issues that have sprouted out that have caused people to raise their eyebrows and go, wait, what? Let me explain.
I had to say this. I think the whole situation with The Witcher 4 is so overblown because it's a cinematic trailer. I saw people saying that was going to come out in 2025. This is the first like reveal cinematic trailer. This is no gameplay has been released at all. That is crazy. If you have more information about that, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my digging on my own time, because that just seems crazy. There's no way this game's coming out next year. But CD Projekt Red has dropped, frankly, 2 great bangers back to back, and I haven't played one of them, but Cyberpunk, amazing. Launch was bad, very shady. Launch, very shady. They could have fucked up, but they kept on pushing, and that game is fucking amazing. The mods, dude, there's no other game that looks that crisp, bro. It's fucking insane, bro. It's so good. I need to go back because there's so much content that's come out since I've last played that I need to play on that game. But then The Witcher 3 as well. Those are the last 2 releases. This isn't a situation where it's like Ubisoft, for instance, where they've released a dud after dud after dud. They're not coming off of a Veilguard. People are predicting that they're going to drop a Veilguard. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way they're doing that. They might fuck up the lore, which could fuck up a lot of like old big fans, which is interesting. I would compare it to Star Wars because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I understand like where people are mad because they're fucking up the lore, because girls aren't supposed to be Witchers from my understanding. And you know, they kind of did that with like Luke Skywalker, right? He was supposed to be like the guy. He was the one that saved the day. Like obviously Darth Vader, you know, did save the day, but like Luke was like supposed to be what Anakin was if he was never cut down into pieces, right? And then they completely threw that out. They changed a lot of things in the lore that just didn't make sense at all. And so yeah, I get it. And there's some things where like Star Wars fans will get really, they'll just overreact completely to like some lore changing. For instance, that happened in the Acolyte where they had the fucking I forget, the big like hammerhead looking dude, the big old dong looking head. He was in there and he was still older, and everyone was like, oh, he was only born that year, so you're telling me he's already like 60 years old. They got so fucking tilted about that. And meanwhile, that didn't even fucking matter. Like, it mattered a little bit, but the show was shit by itself, right? This doesn't look like shit to me. This looks like a really cool direction. I don't know how damning having a girl being a Witcher is. We'll look into that after this.
At one point, the game's director
Maybe he'll
explains
talk
to
about
IGN, last we saw Ciri, she was a young woman facing her destiny. But now, as depicted in a new cinematic trailer shown at the Game Awards 2024, Ciri is a fully fledged Witcher hunting monsters for profit.
Yeah.
Kalemba explains that following the events of The Witcher 3, Ciri has undertaken the famously painful Trial of the Grasses,
which from my understanding means she's a Witcher, not like a half Witcher. She's a full-fledged Witcher.
Has mutated her into a powerful and resilient warrior. She's ready to take on a whole new journey in The Witcher 4, which is the first part of a planned new trilogy of single-player open-world RPGs. This here is probably the biggest WTF lore-breaking thing they've done so far.
Also, like, how are they going to, because I'd imagine they would have to nerf her, because if she's some like cosmic being where she can rip fucking like wormholes into different dimensions and shit, that just seems a little OP. Like, you combine this Witcher aspect, which I really don't know much about yet. I'll figure it out when I play the game, but it just seems a little like, I don't know, it could be really fucking cool and add like such a cool thing to the movement. Hopefully they don't have any loading screens, and that game could easily be game of the year. I could just imagine it now. Like, holy fuck.
That we know of. Yes, Ciri's face looks weird, and there's really no denying that. And I also find it hilarious that even when you place actual
Side by side. Dude, this is such an overreaction. It really is. This looks identical. Am I tripping?
side-by-side comparisons, people just ignore it like they always do because they're
Bro, no, this looks so fucking good. Like, she has creases in her lips. Like, the graphics and the fidelity look amazing. It looks so fucking good, bro. Like, this is one of the best looking trailers I've ever fucking seen.
dummies. Also find it funny that recently CDPR announced
Whatever.
a new statue of Ciri that they're going to sell that looks how she should actually look, as you can see on screen here. Yet
Am I taking crazy pills right now?
going to sell that looks how she should actually look, as you can see on screen here. Yet they completely
Am I taking fucking like what are you talking about, bro? I love his content. I really do. I have respect for him. But this seems like a reach. It really does.
change her face and bone structure in Witcher 4, but they know deep down nobody wants to buy the new Ciri
This her chin looks more petite. That's about it.
face model as a statue. But people love the old Ciri.
But she's wearing like a fucking cloak.
So they're playing both angles here. I'm not stupid, CDPR. I see what you're doing.
I
Going
have
back
no
to
idea.
Ciri becoming a Witcher thing, it's, well, okay, here's the thing, all right? In case you don't know, Witchers are made via this process called the Trial of
I really think it's like a demeanor and an emotional thing. Like, she just looks angry compared to looking like a princess in a way.
Grasses. It's pretty much a horrible experimental process that involves alchemy potions burning your insides until they can handle the poisons that Witchers drink to give them enhanced abilities to, you know, kill monsters. But it doesn't stop there, as there's stuff like the Trial of Dreams too that can further enhance someone. But here's the thing. The trial has an insanely high
I think it's the wardrobe that's got everybody tilted, honestly.
mortality rate already. Something like
You're not
3
seeing
out of the last 10
bra
Witchers
strap.
that were born years ago within that world
I don't know,
actually
man.
survived the process.
Yeah.
The mortality rate in female Witchers, however, was always 100%. They never survived the process. Even the boys barely survived. So as you can see, this trial isn't exactly your super soldier serum from like Marvel. Because not
Well, it's also, it could be, I mean, one of the best stories in Harry Potter was when Harry Potter's name was put into the Goblet of Fire, but I guess that was kind of jinxed. It was cheated in. Wait, and he also survived the killing curse, but that was like it rebounded right onto him, becoming a Horcrux. So they could have, I don't know. I think everyone's just, they're just, it's like you're expecting something that happened bad, and you have no idea what's even happening. You know what I mean? There's so much writing, and these are based off of books, right? So I don't know, man. I'm too uneducated about the whole subject, but I need to dive deeper. I really do.
9 times out of 10, everyone who undergoes this process, they die an excruciatingly painful death. This is why children specifically are targeted for these experiments, because their bodies are more adaptable and heal faster than older people.
Okay.
Ask anyone over 30 how their back or their joints.
Well, it's also like the Dune situation as well, right? Because you're not supposed to be able to have the male be in that, whatever that cult is. I fucking forgot. I read the book a little while ago, before I even watched the movie. But yeah, and he was like the only guy to do it.
Field compared
I think
to
it's
when
kind
they
of
were
cool.
10 years old. They'll tell you exactly what I mean. So kids would get subjected to these experiments because of their adaptability. Adults pretty much never got the process given to them. Because, let's be real, no rational thinking adult would willingly undergo the radical transformational process to become a Witcher, knowing the risks. Because if you told some 30-year-old dude, yeah, so we strap you down and force literal poison magical alchemy stuff down your throat, and you're going to be in more pain than you've ever been in your life, and there's like a 99% chance you just end up dying for nothing.
Well, if you're gonna die, maybe you would do it.
Of course, no adult would do that, which is why children are chosen, because they really have no choice. They're being forced
That's
into
fucked.
it. Nobody that became a Witcher wanted to. I mean, you can't have kids anymore if you even survive it anyway. your entire body from the inside out. It changes completely. So to hear that Ciri becomes a Witcher here, I mean, my question is, of course, why would she do this? The only rational explanation is CDPR comes up with some scenario where she is cursed or something with some sort of life-threatening illness or something. And they say, oh, we gave her the trial to purge the sickness, I guess. Or
she's on her deathbed. Why not even just try, you know? Fuck it.
I mean, we do know that Avalok went through the trial to change him from his gross Uma form back to who he was. And I think that this is where CDPR is going to bend the rules. Avalok
that seems so logical.
Survived the trial to bring him back, and he was an adult, but he wasn't human. He's an elf, a powerful one at that. Of course, Ciri has ancient elven blood in her, so she's like half elf, I guess, if you will. So it's likely that CDPR will use this loophole to explain that actually Ciri can become a Witcher even though she's a woman because she has this magical blood that can survive the process.
Okay, the way he's saying it, in my mind, it just seems like he's saying it like, oh, that's convenient, but these are multiple things stacking up on top of each other, these multiple possibilities, which he's probably fucking right. He probably is, because it makes sense.
This also fits in the face of a few other things. For one, it makes the events of Witcher 3 feel less meaningful overall, because the entire...
I'll be the judge of that. I'm gonna play it all the way through. I'll beat it by the end of the week. I'll let y'all know what I think.
Game, really, the entire series.
Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But please don't ruin the ending for it for the third game. Please don't.
Because in case you don't know, Ciri was trained as a Witcher, although somewhat unsuccessfully.
Okay.
For example, she was trained how to do Witcher signs by Geralt and Vesemir, but it didn't exactly work, and they kind of just gave up on her. And the same thing happened with Yen and Triss trying to teach her.
So you have foreshadowing already. Like, at least it's not like what they did in... I'm sorry, I'm referencing Star Wars a little bit too much. But the fucking Ahsoka show with Bo-Katan... Or not Bo-Katan, what's the fucking other Mandalorian's name? Oh, I forgot her name. The purple hair girl from Rebels. Whatever. They allured to her using the Force, and she struggled and struggled and struggled, and then immediately just did this ultra, like, double push. Oh, it was fucking cheesy as hell.
Magic, it kind of worked, but not really either. Although at least when it came to swordplay and whatnot, Ciri did learn that from Geralt, but I mean, that's not exactly unique. Anyone could technically learn how to wield a sword or how to fight as long as they were willing to do so.
It looks like she just, like, shifted, like, magically.
So Ciri ultimately lived among Witchers and spent her entire life being told that she should never wish to become one. Because Witchers are just as much monsters as the things they hunt. They're not humans. They can't breed.
Comment down below, is this green game mechanic where she's shifting around, like teleporting around, is that her like unique ability to like go through different dimensions? Because that is cool.
Insides are tempered to drink things that would kill ordinary people. And Geralt spends the entire books and the third game pretty much saving Ciri from becoming a Witcher. Only for CDPR to go, actually none of that matters, and Geralt's entire upbringing of Ciri is just whatever now. And she's a Witcher anyway, even though Geralt would never want that for her. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I got a bad feeling. I'm getting Last of Us 2 vibes here. I'm genuinely worried that CDPR is going to pull a Joel and get Geralt axed early on in Witcher 4's story. And
a lot of people did say, I've seen that on Twitter a lot, that people are comparing this to the Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2 had fucking Abby, who was like on steroids, who was fucking stronger than most of the men in that game, probably. Fucking yoked to the gills, bro. She was strong as fucking Mike Tyson in his prime. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It was not believable at all. It was interesting because it was like the first time I've ever seen that before in a video game. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this chick? This whole different level. And this is before all the woke shit, right? That came out when like that had to come out in like 2018 or something. It was a while ago. They keep on doing remasters and shit. But I mean, once they killed fucking Homeboy, I was like, nah, I'm not playing this. I need to go back and finish that game, but that shit just pissed me off so much. I fucking sold the game. I just did not want to play after they killed him.
Whatever the hell ends up killing Geralt causes
just smashed him over and over again.
So she can hunt whatever it is that killed him. I have a really bad feeling that that'll be the case here. I really do hope I'm wrong, though. If CDPR wants to piss off their entire fan base, they will just pull The Last of Us and let Geralt be killed by a magical golf club too, or whatever is the equivalent for them.
Wait,
I
what?
surely hope that is not the case, but that's just speculation, so I'll just refrain from that for now. But as it stands, Ciri becoming a Witcher goes against everything that Geralt, Vesemir, Triss, Yen, and everyone else taught her not to be. And in my opinion, Ciri could still be the main character and not be a Witcher. After all, like I said, she was still trained like one. She's still a Witcher in mindset and combat skills and hunter awareness. She didn't need to go through the trial to be considered the main character. Because
and look, she's not like OP strong. She's like leaning into everything, like using her full body weight to do everything. And I imagine if she's a Witcher, she would have some kind of like bonus in like strength, right? So she doesn't come off as like some OP force.
Fans, obviously, are already accepting of Ciri as a character to begin with. Plus, let's be real. Her actual powers are already stronger than any Witcher anyway. She literally stops the White Frost. Geralt can't do that. It just feels like they're doing this to check a box to break the ceiling, so to speak. To
what?
confirm that yes, female Witchers can exist. Just ignore the fact the only mention of female Witchers is from a non-canon tabletop game. Now what then? Ciri is a monster who can't continue her bloodline because CDPR really wanted to just make a woman Witcher? Really, guys? Hell, maybe she can still have kids because the elven blood is just so good, I guess.
Comment down below. I wonder if there's like, is there anyone else in The Witcher 3 that would have been a viable like protagonist for to carry on the Witcher games? Or is there like someone viable in the actual Witcher books? Or is it... I have so many questions about this, bro. I really do. Is there also like a situation where it's like Game of Thrones, like the books aren't like with Game of Thrones, they got to a point with the TV show and the books weren't written yet, so the TV show pretty much went off script and just took tips and whatever from J.R.R. Martin, and they kind of like winged it, and then that's obviously when the TV show started to tank. So are the books, are they past the books at this point? And is that, I don't know, because I could see that being an issue as well.
Yes, maybe that's why Ciri's voice...
Because you would think if the books were completely written already, that you would have a crystal clear direction of where to go with the series.
Is different in Witcher 4, and she looks like her face got enlarged in a PDF file. I don't know, maybe the trial went wrong, and that's why Ciri's voice is deepened and her face got twisted. Who knows? Maybe she sprouted a...
This guy's, oh my
pair
god,
of balls with a schlong while she was at it too, because screw it, if canon doesn't matter,
oh my god,
just do whatever you want, right?
Modern gaming, modern audiences, it's infected the gaming industry so much, and there's a point where not everything is woke. It just doesn't, I just don't get woke vibes from this, bro. This looks so sick.
Give Ciri bat wings and a lizard tail. Let's just throw the lore out of the window and get gnarly with it, because nothing matters anymore. I just hope the reason why CDPR did this wasn't because some DEI advocate inside their company was told that women can't be Witchers.
Let's hope
and then they put the CDPR team through unconscious bias training like Rockstar's devs had to.
That's
and
crazy.
Eventually brainwashed the leadership into believing that men and women are...
Okay, that shot right there actually does look a little different.
And eventually...
But again, she's crying. She's more feminine. Because I fucking sound like a goddamn. I hate this. But and also her attire, bro. She had like fucking. It looked like fucking padding on her shoulders. I guess.
Brainwashed the leadership into believing that men and women are biologically the exact same, so therefore women can be Witchers because gender means nothing anyways. I was also attacked for this too. So True Vanguard, who's a Destiny shill of all people, attacked me as well. He called me a non-fan for my take, but I don't personally believe that we should care what a Destiny yes man thinks about anything. Destiny as a game got cooked with gender identity for years. Tons of characters in that game over time got turned gay or whatever else was considered socially in at the time. Because you know us knowing that Saint 14 and Osiris like mounting each other was more important than the actual quality of life updates that Destiny desperately needed. And Bungie is cooked anyway. Tons of layoffs, Destiny 2 was all but dead, and of course, instead of calling Bungie out ever for these things, people like True Vanguard, like the shill that he is, just lapped up whatever Bungie gave him so that he could get free access to future stuff. Case in point, True Vanguard's an idiot and needs to stay in his lane. Him alongside other fence sitters like Ackman, Keith, and many others, they all sat by and allowed video games to become a hellscape for
Wait, you see Ackman?
actual years without lifting his lane. Him alongside other fence sitters like Actman, Keith, and many others, they all sat.
I like Actman. Actman makes great content. I don't know who the fuck this Vanguard fellow is. I didn't play Destiny 2. I played Destiny 1. I didn't see any gay shit in Destiny 1. This guy's tilted right now.
By and allowed video games to become a hellscape for actual years without lifting a finger or calling things out themselves. All because they were afraid.
No, that's not true. Actman calls out a bunch of shit. He does his take, bro. Oh my goodness, not everything has to be fucking woke, right? A lot of shit is woke these days, though. So like, point it out when it is.
Afraid of the backlash that I'm currently living through for actually having the balls to put my name on the line and say the things they know are happening in video games, but are far too entrenched and scared to speak out against themselves. It's okay, Vanguard or Actman and all the other yes men and women who do nothing but lap up what the industry gives them. I mean, look at what me and my buddies have done in just 9 months of combining our powers.
Yeah, y'all have killed it. And it is also the fucking gaming industry. These companies have fucking just given you so many topics to talk about. It's amazing. I love talking about all these fuck ups in the gaming industry because I don't want this to fucking keep happening. We want the pattern to shift in a different direction. But at the end of the day, bro, like Midian might be right. The Witcher 4 might be woke. I don't think we have enough information to even like think that, right? With Dragon Age, that shit was obvious from the get-go. And like, I mean, the last 2 games they dropped, CD Projekt Red, was fucking The Witcher 3, which everyone says is a fucking classic, and Cyberpunk, which is arguably one of the greatest RPGs games in next gen consoles. It is.
Grums, Yellow Flash, Hypnotic, Smash JT, Vera Dark, Potentially Criminal, Madam Savvy, Some Guy on Phone, Dash, Melanie Mac, Fandom Pulse, That Park Place, Geeks and Gamers, That Star Wars Girl, Verbal Riot, and so many others have all done our parts to change this industry for the better. The fact these morons push back against us when we are fixing the things they know in their hearts are deeply wrong with this industry, it tells me just how entrenched these people are and how genuinely terrified they have become of even being considered as stepping out of line.
I just want to say this real quick because I want to clarify. I like Actman's stuff, 100%, and I agree with a lot of what the videos that I react to. I've agreed a lot with Midian. And there's just been a lot of topics where it's like, this is obviously woke, this is obviously garbage. I don't know why this is being pushed in the gaming industry. You're making video games that people don't want to play, and then they tank, and it's like, why? And the unfortunate part about that is there are people that are working on these video games because there's only so many AAA companies, right, that are making AAA video games. And what happens to studios like that? Well, they get bought by Tencent, they go under, they sell everything they have. If you keep on fucking up, you're eventually gonna go broke. That's the game. That's the rules. And that is unfortunate. There's a lot of people out there that aren't trying to push these. They're just trying to make the best video game possible. And you have to think about that as well. But I don't fucking side with anyone. I don't. I'm not over here like, I have my YouTube click. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't fucking talk to other YouTubers. I'm fucking tiny as hell. And I probably won't even when I get bigger. Like, I'll talk about advice and stuff like that. But honestly, I wasn't making YouTube videos and I saw this shit myself. I was like, bro, this is fucked up. Why are people making video games like this? It just didn't make sense to me, and it sticks out like crazy. So it's not like every game is gonna be woke, right? And I really do think that you need to have more information to know if it's gonna be bad or not, which he's doing a good job of piling certain things together. I just don't get that feel yet.
They know that gender identity nonsense has ran through video games by activists for years. They know this, but they've always refused to speak up against it. Because
Actman has talked about it.
If they do, then Daddy Company number 3000 will send them a game code early, or a plushie toy with a fancy butt plug that they can shove up their ass for being good fencers.
Jesus Christ.
I and others have done more in 9 months in changing this industry than most of these people have done in their entire online careers combined. If
All
it
right.
was up to people like True Vanguard or Actman and others, you would be drowning right now in identity politics. You would be silenced for speaking out. You would get gaslighted into enjoying these things that you know deep down in your soul are not good for the art of this medium.
I don't think that's possible. I really don't think you can't. I can't have someone convince me a video game is good. I can't. Guess you know how I know this? I'm a Halo fan. Halo was my first love. I grew up playing Halo. Same with Call of Duty. How often do I play Call of Duty anymore? Or Halo? Not often. Not often. And there's a lot of Halo content creators that I watch. There's a lot of Call of Duty people that I watch. No, you can't. There's probably people that you can, like, they watch certain content, they fall in love with the creator, they I don't know, they become more like that creator, I guess you could say. That is probably possible. That just is not me, bro. I can't relate to that at all. Like, you playing video games because your favorite content creator plays that video game. Unless the video game's like really good. Like, if it's Marvel Rivals, I understand, because that game's fucking amazing, right? But, like, say your favorite content creator was playing Veilguard, bro, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way they can, like, trick you into playing that game.
It's why I am here doing what I'm doing.
Like, they could trick you into it, but you would immediately know if it was fucking bad or not. I would assume you would. I hope
do not
you
allow or see these people, or the IGNs, which, by the way, that place got hit with mass layoffs too recently, to speak for me when it comes to video games anymore. You do not speak for me. You do not represent me. Because I cannot trust any of these fence-sitting, bellyache-holding man-children to say what needs to be said to fix things. I will not stop what I am doing. You can attack me all you want. All you're doing is proving time and again that what I'm saying and what I'm doing is resonating, and deep down in your heart of hearts, you know that pisses you off. Especially True Vanguard. The guy's viewer base is cooked already. All that shilling for corporations, and for what exactly? Maybe if you're a good enough boy, Vanguard.
I can't stand fucking shill, especially when it comes to like Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. People just like shill big companies. It's like, why? Why are you doing that? It is the most cringe thing I've seen on fucking Twitter. And also, I think Midion needs to stop looking at the fucking tweet, like the replies he's getting and shit like that. Like, I know he has to because it's his job. But you could hire someone to do that, but then you could get in a situation where they say some shit that's not they shouldn't have, and then you have to come out and be like, I don't run my Twitter. Yeah, it's all messy. It's not a win-win. It's a lose-lose situation no matter what. But he brings up a good point where he's saying that, you know, you can't trust these people. It's honestly the same way it is in like big media nowadays, like legacy media, the old media. No one watches that shit. No one even pays attention to it. They don't give a fuck. Like, people like independent reporters and stuff like that when it comes to news, right? That's the new thing. And I had this conversation the other day with my buddy in the hot tub. We talked about video games. We talked about life. We talked about bunch of shit, man. And we were talking about how it's a lose-lose situation, because if you want to know what's going on in the world, you can't trust any of these big companies, these big news companies. They're all fucking bought and paid for. They all have advertisers. They're all controlled by, you know, certain people, and they all have biases. And then so you look for independent media that does good. And you know, if you want to see a certain topic, you have to find someone that's going to be talking about that certain topic, and then you have to figure out, oh, is this person good or not? And it's just an ongoing process of doing the same thing. It's almost like fucking switching over from cable to fucking streaming platforms, and eventually streaming platforms become the same fucking price as fucking cable is. It's just, golly, it's just like a fucking revolving doors thing. Oh god, it's annoying.
Bungie will send you a statue of Osiris giving Saint 14 the work from behind as a thank you for being the good little boy that you are, for never speaking out against anything that this industry wills upon its customers and player bases. You think GamerGate 2 just existed out of nowhere? You think we just do this because of the money? You actually think that I want Witcher to get cooked with DEI? Are you kidding me right now?
There's no
All
way.
I want for video games is to become genuine artistic experiences Let's stop ruining things for the sake of messages that are designed to talk down to players.
Yeah.
I cannot leave this future of video games in the hands of the old guard of YouTube. I just can't. Because it's because of these people that things were allowed to run amok like they have for so long already and get as bad as they did.
Well, my boy is
As some of
shooting a
these
shot.
YouTubers and industry people had the courage to step out of the crowd and actually say what they really thought for once in their lives, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But instead,
Guess what? This is raw reaction, baby. All I tell is my motherfucking first thought to my head.
when your male heroes are
Blessing
getting
and
their
a
brains
curse.
crushed with golf clubs, your games are removing gender all over the place. Your microtransactions are completely out of control, and the game developers these days have become
And that's not unique to fucking Destiny 2. That's all over.
so comfortable that they almost on a daily basis think that it's righteous to spit on the very customers that they are here to serve. We have to realize that, come on everyone, we have a problem here. And the panacea to this ailment is not to sit on our backs and continue to let these activists, these freaks, these monsters to
Jesus.
continue to have their way with us. And for anyone who attacked me for speaking my mind, don't worry.
Nah,
I'll
fuck
keep
'em, bro.
fighting for you as well, even though you hate me. Because you know deep in your heart that you wish you had the power or balls to put your entire livelihood on the line and your reputation for something you actually believed in for once. But you don't, and you know it. That's why you sit in the crowd with your chin down, looking at the pavement, hoping nobody catches your eye in the crowd. For the first time in a long time, players have a collective voice, a true way of actually...
I also want to make a point where you have to understand that you're pointing out activists being in the gaming industry, right? What you're doing right now is a form of activism. It is. But it's your direction of activism, right? And you're doing your job. But I do want to point that out there, that you pointing out that there's woke shit in the industry, and kind of you're going off right now. You 100% are. He is. So you're tilted. You're talking about activism is bad in video games, but at the same time, it's not activism. It's your flavor of activism that you don't like. Which I agree with you. I don't think that woke shit should be in the video games. And frankly, if you want to, it's not even that it should be in the video game industry. It should be. There should be video games for everybody. It's the problem when people twist certain projects that shouldn't be that, because they were the consumer base was something already. They were not modern audiences. There's probably some modern audiences out there that play some video games. There's some people that are playing fucking Concord that probably weren't YouTubers and streamers, and yeah, but that's a very small, population. So that probably should be a smaller video game, not a what was it, $250 fucking million video game. Insane. But yeah, I digress. Yeah.
Speaking out against the lunacy that has ravaged media for far too long. They came after me when I said that CDPR was full of DEI. Then I proved them wrong. They came after me when I said that Dragon Age Veilguard was a disaster and ruined the legacy of that world. They came after me when I said that Ghost of Yote had underlying...
This is 100% still to be found. Like, this is still questionable. 100%. I think this was overblown as well. I think there's been a couple games that have been overblown.
Messaging.
But we'll
and then
see.
These developers come out and talk to me in secret, and then I tell you things like how I said that Ubisoft is currently in a war to keep its soul from Tencent buying
Ubisoft is dying.
them.
Everyone knows this.
No, you're wrong. That's not happening. You're lying. Only for every goddamn website on this planet to confirm what I said to you guys a month and a half later after I said it. You are not angry at me, you fence-sitting freaks. You're angry at yourselves because you lack the resolve to actually stand for the things that you know to be right. So keep fence-sitting, keep attacking me, calling me names, or attacking my physical appearance. Whatever it is that makes you feel morally justified as you continue to change nothing about anything and just continue to live your NPC lives where you've been conditioned by your peers to shut your mouths and always keep your voices down. You do not and never will speak for me again because you have failed me and others for years by sitting on your power while refusing to do nothing but allow everyone and everything to burn so that you hope your little island of paradise stays untouched. I will not stop, and you will never silence me. I will fix this industry. When it starts to heal, I won't even ask for a thank you, because I'll know that deep down in your soul, you knew that what I was doing all along was the right decision. But don't come after me when you know the real grifters are the people that are shilling millions.
Did Ackman come after him? I might have missed something. I don't really use Twitter much at all. At all. So I'm not like watching Twitter beefs between YouTubers at all. But that'd be interesting. I would. It seems kind of uncharacteristic. I can't even fucking speak right now. It's too early in the morning. It doesn't seem like Ackman would do that. But shit, fuck, I don't know the guy. So I just know the fucking content he makes on Halo. That shit is fucking epic. Those videos made him, man. Bro, those videos went hard. Stupid
Dollars
hard.
in consultancy fees and DEI nonsensical agenda crap that is ruining your favorite game studios and
Saints Row was crazy.
franchises already. Like, even when Jason Schreier, another cultist of the agenda, tells you that GTA 6 will not make fun of certain groups, the usual fence sitters will go, well, that's fine because something, I'm an idiot.
I think the fact that GTA 6 won't make fucking trans jokes, like, yeah, it's like, why is that a statement, right? It's a little suspect, but by itself, it's not like damning. It's not. But it is weird. It's like, why is this a statement? Why is this pressed out there? You know what I mean?
Grifters in
like,
these
what else is
companies
there?
are laughing at you. Your hesitation is letting them get away with murder constantly. And instead, you're bending every joint in your body to them while saying thank you very much. Get out of my face, you fence sitters. You are as disappointing as your
And Minion, I really think this problem will, even if you didn't do anything, even if the gaming industry, like the YouTubers that talk about this stuff, like Geeks and Gamers and all these other people you mentioned, if y'all didn't make any content about this at all, I really think the problem would fix itself eventually. It would just, we would get so much bullshit poured down our throat, and it would take a lot longer. The reason this happened in the first place is because a fucking minority voice, a very small voice, was very loud, and then also started working on the video games themselves. That's what it seems like to me. I'm not a fucking expert in this shit, but I'm just seeing what I've seen, right? So take everything I say with a fucking grain of salt. I'm just a fucking guy that plays video games and reacts to shit.
content is. Now get back in line and let people like me and others continue to risk our entire livelihoods so that your futures can be better. I also want to talk about Intergalactic now before I finish this video.
Let's go.
That game is the epitome of everything I spoke about in this video already. It looks like Naughty Dog has learned absolutely nothing from their past failures at all. So one of my sources, the same one I spoke to,
it's so sad because the direction they went, like with the art style, I fuck with heavily, bro. In the direction of like an 80s sci-fi game, like a kind of like a Star Wars, like Star Trek-y feel. It's cool, bro, but like there's so many red flags.
about Assassin's Creed Shadows told me some stuff about Naughty Dog's Intergalactic.
I'm still optimistic, right?
First, from what I was told, Naughty Dog ran multiple test screenings for this Intergalactic.
This scene right here, though, like, come on. And also the comments were turned off for this fucking video. Dude, y'all knew what you were doing.
Game prior to its announcement. And the general consensus was that nobody was too impressed with what they saw. A lot of the internal discussions too, or that even the more sane woke devs are sick of this stuff, if you can believe it.
Oh, I bet.
And this source has worked with plenty of games people before. And yeah, Naughty
They're
Dog
tired of getting
internally is
fired.
pretty split on this game from its direction as well. But this is Neil Druckmann's baby, as I'm told. It's apparently inspired by Akira and Cowboy Bebop. Wonder if Neil remembers that there's scenes in those inspirations where rioters get absolutely wrecked by police. Wouldn't surprise me if that somehow makes it in the game too. And they are looking at this game and its reception as the last hurrah, if you will, from Naughty Dog before Sony steps in and forces changes. Basically,
Hopefully they do.
Intergalactic is Naughty Dog's last chance at this girl boss agenda pushing nonsense, is what I'm being told. As I said in a previous video, Sony Japan
Well, actually, like Sony made Concord. What are we talking about?
is winning the internal battle
How
for
are they gonna
Sony
fix
Soul
it?
right now over Sony America. Sony America specifically is who you can blame pretty much for stuff like Concord, Intergalactic, Last of Us 2, the Horizon remake, remaster, and so on. They're the ones that are really pushing the woke stuff, whereas Sony Japan is against it, and they're using their power to make Sony
makes
America
sense.
step in line more. and, you know, stop wasting hundreds of millions of dollars on stuff that nobody wants.
Yeah, so not somebody. Japan's been getting real fed up with a lot of Americans lately. A lot of American culture they do not fuck with.
But this shouldn't surprise me because apparently Naughty Dog internally was also really mad about the outcome of the election as well. And they're making this as their sort of punk rock, we're not going to take it liberal hell yeah against right-wing stuff apparently. Honestly, Intergalactic for the most part, it looked fine, I guess. I mean,
No, it looked good. It did look good. I'm not capping. It did look good. He's downplaying it because he doesn't want it to be good. Which I understand because the direction does seem like it's going in a woke direction. Like you have a bald-headed lady as the protagonist, which is a very who knows. I've just seen a fucking trailer, right? And I've just seen all the fucking speculation. We saw the fucking thing supposedly be leaked, the whole game storyline, which was pretty much just like a concept, like a outline. Which it could be good, but there's some parts that seem so cheesy and so like why. But it's interesting. I love sci-fi, so if it's shit, it's shit. If it's good, it's good. We'll see.
The monster alien that looked very generic and not at all like something
I think that looks fucking dope.
I would expect from Naughty Dog. And the ship and the aesthetic, all of it, yeah, it's kind of played out at this point, but it looks nice. I would never say that Naughty Dog isn't full of talented artists or gameplay designers because it's not true. They are.
I think the ship looked really good. I think the TV like 80s vibe looked kind of shitty. Just the contrast between like the ship scene and then the Adidas and the fucking Porsche like advertisements like pissed me the fuck off. It really did. Like that would make sense if it was like in 2K or like Madden where like advertising like makes it feel more real, but like when you're playing a video game you want to be immersed. It's like it's one of the best feelings compared to like a movie, I guess you could say, because it's, you know, 2 to 3 hours of immersion into a different world. But this, when you see fucking advertisements like that, it just pulls you right out of it.
Really good at making things look great and all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that this is the real first game Neil Druckmann is making where he doesn't have the support or know-how of someone like Bruce Straley, who, by the way, was integral to stuff like Uncharted and The Last of Us being there to guide him, as well as Amy Hennig, who was the actual creator of Uncharted and also ushered in Naughty Dog's golden era, if you will. So this is the first time Neil is actually making something completely devoid of those mammoth talented developers not being involved with him at all in any way. I guess you could say The Last of Us 2 was Neil as well, but that proves my point. The game sold very poorly according to Sony. Sure,
It sold. It didn't sell terribly. It sold terribly compared to The Last of Us, the first one, and that is a cult classic. That game is fucking amazing.
it won the awards and all of that, but let's be real, most companies would rather have billions of dollars than some dinky plastic or glass award that says best art direction or something anyway.
Sure.
Last of Us Part 2 also won Game of the Year at the beginning of the ESG Golden Era in 2020, so that was kind of expected to happen as well. And seeing what Neil is doing here with Intergalactic so far anyway, from the character designs and all of that, yeah, it's giving that last hurrah, we're gonna go full.
This doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, wouldn't gravity pull this into like a complete circle? Like, why is it having like a spiral tail outwards, like a half heart? I don't know. That just bothers me.
Girl boss when nobody wants and stuff energy. Could it be fun to play? Probably. I think Naughty Dog is obviously talented. They can and have made many great games, but I do think in the past maybe 10 years especially, they have largely become a vanity project studio, if that makes sense. Like, they made this big success with Last of Us 1, and they were kind of just given carte blanche to do whatever. And since then, in my opinion anyway, they haven't really reached the highs of the first Last of Us or Uncharted games since then. I have no problem with Naughty Dog making a new franchise either. I actually welcome it because I don't know about you, but I am sick of The Last of Us already. All the remasters and remakes in the show, I'm just so done with that world. It's so overdone, dude. So who knows, it could be at least fun to play, and I'm sure that Intergalactic will look nice in motion. But I take one look at that main character and it immediately tells me what I pretty much need to know. It's gonna have loads of diversity.
See, that's where me and him disagree. I want to know more about it. Like, at the end of the day, if this doesn't have a really good story, I don't really care. It's you know, if you're playing a fucking solo campaign game, you want to have a good story. At the end of the day, like that's what gets you into the game. Also, the gameplay is king, but I mean, if you're playing a solo game, you want a good ass story for sure. And I don't know if we're gonna get that. So
Lots of women, probably a ton of evil white men, and all the usual things we came to expect in these sorts of games.
This looks
I should also bring
badass,
it back
bro.
for a second to Witcher before.
Like a big boy General Grievous, like fucking anime head, bro. Got a fucking like chainsaw lightsaber. Sick as fuck. That is dope. That's what sold me. I could look past the fucking shaved bald headed lady, and honestly frankly I don't care. As long as she's not like annoying and like pushing propaganda on me constantly, and it takes me out of the experience. Yeah, I don't really care.
Witcher are also already banning people for speaking out against Witcher 4. As you can see here on screen, this user pretty much just expressed their opinion, and then they got banned outright by the forum saying that he was spewing culture war stuff, which okay, but it's still valid. The fact they're banning people for speaking their mind is stupid. By the way, this was on a Witcher 2 Steam forum as well. I really dislike how moderators just silence people and don't allow them to talk about what is so obviously something that is a hot topic issue like this.
Yeah.
It reeks of censorship, and the mods may claim that it's to save the forum, but in reality, it's just one group policing the other's opinions and messages because they don't agree with it. The same stuff happens all the time, of course. But going back to Naughty Dog again, Druckmann claims that Intergalactic is a return to their action-adventure roots, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but good lord, dude, one look at that main character model just tells me everything. And sure, they'll call you sexist, racist, whatever when you point out these sorts of things, but Naughty Dog's protagonist is yet another woman who is purposely looking ugly, or the Siri thing where her literal bone structure and face are completely different.
If you don't watch the video about like the leaks, the quote unquote leaks about Intergalactic, supposedly she's a fugitive and she shaved her head because she's trying to hide, right? She doesn't want people to see her with hair. She's an outlaw. That premise could work. It could. There's a lot of things that were leaked. I don't know. I'm speculating that the leaks are true to some extent. They might be fake. I don't fucking know. Who knows? But if it is true what they said in the leaks, it could work. It could also be a fucking fat steaming pile of shit. I don't know.
But all it really is, as always, is just
we gotta see more
to patterns. And like the people who don't want you noticing said patterns will shame you, but it's monumental that you continue calling things out, unlike these other YouTubers who sat around for 10 years doing anything but fixing what was clearly already broken because they didn't want to hurt their bottom lines.
Yeah.
I'm sure this won't be the last time that I go viral for my opinion on video games. It definitely won't be the last time I get attacked either. Hell, I get attacked on Twitter like every second of every day. You think your insults hurt me? I see what makes you cheer. And like always, the people up in arms against will always stay in line like they always do and just follow the flock like the good NPCs they are. So it ends up being left to us to continue this crusade in the future. DEI is clearly on the back pedal. It's dying. They know it and they're scared.
100%.
And they're going to do their damnedest to get us to accept it. And I implore all of you to stay vigilant, keep asking questions, and keep listening to that part of your brain that recognizes these patterns. They'll call you crazy. But the only people who call you crazy are the actually insane ones. Unlike True Vanguard, I won't wear the DEI butt plug and she'll...
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. He's going crazy. He's going ham. I really do think that there's been so much that's been coming out lately. So like the people that have been talking against the woke agenda, all the DEI stuff, all that kind of stuff that's been pushed into video games lately, and we've seen a lot of video games tank and fall apart. I mean, Overwatch is falling apart right now. That should have happened a long time ago. Concord was the biggest flop in history. Veilguard was one of the most atrocious fucking just propaganda push in the. It's wild. There's been so fucking many. He had Saints Row on there as well in the video at some point, which I completely forgot about that game. Wow, that game was crazy different. But yeah, there's been so many just constantly coming out, and there has been a lot of like games that have been teased, and whether it be an actor, a voice actor, or whatever it might be, that be connected to that kind of political view. So a lot of people have been calling out games saying they're woke before we even know much about the games in general. I just don't want to do that, bro. I really don't. The game itself, the vibe looks good. Now, if the vibe doesn't look good at all, I'm gonna fucking shit on it, right? But at the end of the day, if I get called a fence sitter for just voicing what I actually believe, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I'm not gonna go and fucking just get tilted just to get views or something like that. I just think that's grifting. I don't think that's what Imidion's doing. He's been dialed into this shit for a long time, way longer than me. Obviously, he's probably has some fucking tension with all these other creators he mentioned. And I know nothing about that shit at all, so I'm not gonna speak on that, right? I'm trying to like get past all that nonsense, because it's nonsense to me, but it's not to him, right? But it is what it is. Like that, I'm just trying to be as frank and as straight up as possible. Jesus Christ, that was an interesting video. Very interesting. Definitely give it a like though. He went in. That man is not faking it. I 100% that he believed every word he said. All right, let's go to the comment section below. I think when it comes to the whole DEI and GamerGate movement, many people forget the true villains behind the scenes. BlackRock and ESG. Oh shit. Okay. Got a little tinfoil hat action going on. I've got over 40 non-woke games in my backlog. I don't need any new games. Oh my god. That's the best fucking thing about this too. That there's been so many AAA games that have come out and just looked like shit, played like shit. I just don't want to play them in general. Fucking Veilguard, Star Wars Outlaws. There's been a lot of games, bro. A lot of games. And it's kind of nice because I'm not like wasting my time on them. Now there's a couple of them it's like they're up in the air. It's like you don't know at first. And being a YouTuber, being first is very beneficial. But there's so many games I've been playing. My backlog is so deep. I've been enjoying the fuck out of it. And now I get to enjoy The Witcher 3. I'm so excited to play that, man. I really am. And I'm going to know more about the overall concept of what people are feeling and why they're so tilted. I really think people are overreacting with some stuff just because, like, there's been so much fucking shit that's come out where now if they see one inkling, one little hint of it being woke, they see red, and I don't blame them. I get it. It's their job. And frankly, they've been right on a lot of stuff, man. They have. Stay strong. These weirdos only attack you because they know you're right, and they're terrified of anyone shedding light on their bullshit. I don't know the other side of this, right? So I'm not gonna. But let me play devil's advocate real quick, just against Imedion. So he went at people's fucking throats, dude. He just called out a bunch of people for calling them shills. Pretty much, long story short. Like they might be. I don't fucking know. But I mean, I know how fandoms are, and when you have fandoms beefing, it's good. We gotta manage that shit, bro. I've seen a lot of people beef with a lot of different fandoms and it fucking bite them in the ass. But you know what helps when that happens? When you're right. When you're right, oh man, it don't matter. Because you're right at the end of the day. People just want to listen to people that are right. They don't want to listen to people that are wrong. Look at fucking CNN. They got fucking Republicans doing fucking all Republican panels now. They got fucking MMSBC or whatever fucking falling apart. So, the people that thought that Kamala was going to win, the ratings are shot down completely. And they were already shot down. And you got to be right, man. You do. But yeah. Great video. Love to talk about these topics, man. We hadn't talked about The Witcher much at all, so that was really cool. Check out Imedion and his channel, man. Really, go give him a like if you like the video. He's a very passionate man, which we need more passionate people when it comes to video games. We really do. And it doesn't even matter about like your side of the spectrum or whatever the fuck you want to do, politics and all that shit included. You just need more people passionate about video games voicing their opinions. There's so many issues with the gaming industry in general that we need more voices. We really do. So yeah, my name's Trey Swish. This is the first time you're watching one of my videos. Consider subscribing and join the ether. I really appreciate everybody watching the ether, man. different setup right now just because I'm kind of on vacation, but I don't really care. I'm going to keep on pushing out content for y'all. This was a really long video. Wow, an hour and 3 minutes, 4 minutes now. So yeah, there's a couple other videos popping up by my head right now. I'm a little bit more mellow toned right now, a little bit more chill, just because I don't want to wake anybody up. It's 5 a.m. and I need to go to bed. Wow. Yeah, so this is the end of the video. My name is Trace Wish. Thank you for watching the Ether. Hit that sub button, bro. Hit that like button too, dude. It's so easy. Like, if you're not gonna sub, I get it, bro. It is what it is. You wanna sub when it feels right. That's cool. I really think you should do it now because I'm trying to get the 1K. Let's get the 1K, baby. Let's do it. But yeah, it's easy enough to hit that like button, bro. I'll see you in the next one. And make sure you keep the conversation flowing, man. Real talk. I love getting spicy with it. I love hearing from y'all. Hearing different takes, hearing advice, whatever it fucking might be. Maybe you just want to have a conversation. Comment down below, bro. Anything and everything. Let's continue that shit. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces, have a good one. Have a good Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, boy, I love you.